Christopher McCandless said, "The very basic core of a man's living spirit is his passion for adventure. A true adventure can change a man. It awakens something in your soul. It tells you everything that is important about life. It shows you who you really are, deep inside." This is the story of my friend Brad and I tackling our bucket trips. Once-in-a-lifetime adventures, and what happens on those journeys.
This day is starting out way different than I expected.
It all started in May of 2024. We went to the Arctic.
This has been like a bucket trip for me.
It's been a bucket trip for me.
Cheers. Cheers, brother.
We made it to the Arctic Ocean.
Maybe we should check off a few more of those bucket trips together.
Let's do that, dude. Let's make some plans.
Let's make some plans.
Onyx Off-Road presents Bucket Trip.
I'm about to jump on a call with Brad. We're going to talk about the plan for the bucket trip. Exciting.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, morning.
You're good for being in southern Arizona on the 6th? You think
Yep.
that'll still work for you? Okay. So this is where we're going to meet for camp, right around there. It's a green trail all the way in, so there shouldn't be any issues. I would say we can come all the way down here and fuel up at this last stop, and then just kind of work our way through the mountains here. Where's my little measurement thing? From here to there, that's 66 miles as the crow flies. So, I mean, I think it wouldn't be that hard to use, a good 3/4, almost a full tank of fuel. I'm gonna bring extra fuel. Yeah, I'm stoked. This could be a good trip, dude.
It's going to be a really good trip.
Plan on seeing you in a week from today, dude. That's exciting. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, bucket trip. Let's
All
go.
right, buddy. Take care. Let's go.
I decided to bring my kayak since we're headed to sunny Arizona.
So we've mounted the Thule elevators, which are a assist loader. There's no weight on these, and they are spring loaded to pull the kayak up. So I have to give it a bit of a tug, which you wouldn't have to do when the kayak is on there. Fire the kayak on here, and then these are trying to spring up. If I let them go, they'll go flying up. But that makes it so it's easy to get them up. You don't have to lift too hard. These are available at modularracks.com. The Thule elevator.
What's up, everybody? It is morning in beautiful Arizona. I think we're just outside of Tucson. I came in late last night, stuck in some traffic. I've been on the road for about 3 days now, and met up with my good friend Brad from Trail Recon. We're about to start our next bucket trip. Bucket Trip 2.
Bucket trip 2.
Yeah, we are going to cross the entire state of Arizona from the bottom to the top. I have had zero luck in Arizona. Every time I've come here, I've broken my truck and we've had to tow it or repair it. So we're going to break that curse with this trip. There's going to be a lot to see. Make sure you stick around. Big thanks to Onyx Off-Road for sponsoring this trip. Check that out if you don't already use Onyx Off-Road. There's a link in the description where you can save 20%.
We're going to go check out an old western town, which I know you appreciate that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So we're going to go a little bit out of the way to get there, but we'll go check that out. I've never been there. A lot of history there, and I think it'll be fun. And then we're going to head straight for the Arizona-Mexico border, and then we're going to begin the trail heading north. So we're going to follow the backcountry discovery route. But you and I talked about this over the last couple months, as we're not going to stick to that route. It's just kind of our guide. We're going to use Onyx a little bit and be like, oh, here's a fun little trail. Let's go check that out. So honestly, I think what's going to be fun about this trip is we don't have like a hard deadline for anything. So we'll just kind of see where we end up today.
The start of an adventure is always a bit of a magic feeling, hitting the road and just taking things as they come.
right, bucket trip 2 is officially on.
Go!
Beautiful Arizona morning to start it off. We have arrived at Tombstone, which is the has the site of the OK Corral gunfight, kind of an old western town. We're gonna check it out. Maybe grab some. Are we grabbing food here?
Oh, we're getting breakfast.
Definitely getting food here. Maybe some cowboy hats too.
Get your hand up there! Nobody's that lucky.
This day is starting out way different than I expected.
And this is actually made with bison felt. So if you're traveling a lot around the country, you're going to run into places that have water. You've never put on a cowboy hat before.
Well, I have, but I probably don't know the right way.
All right, so you see this stitching right here?
Yes.
That's going to go just above your eyebrow. Perfect.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, my friend, you look like a new man with that hat.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying.
feel like a new man with this hat.
Your entire aura has changed. 2.5. And divide that by pi.
In Tombstone,
Yeah.
you gotta get a hat.
You got it. We really are starting this trip off right.
I'm telling you.
You cannot go on an adventure without the right hat.
We're wanted, dead or alive.
Oh, no.
I think we need to get out of town.
$25,000.
Yeah, we need to get out of town.
That is the most fun touristy stop I have ever had.
Absolutely, dude. That was a good time. Way more fun today than I expected.
Yeah, and it's just barely lunchtime. All right, we've just gotten to the dirt. We're getting the trucks aired down. We're starting right at the Mexican border. So we're gonna drive a little bit along the border and then head up and start following a bit of the Arizona BDR.
I don't think there's been a lot of rain, but I gotta think there's a little bit of snow up there. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of get up there and play a little bit. It'll be fun.
So you guys are also going to be able to follow along with us on this trip using Onyx Off-Road if you want. We're going to upload a folder with all of our waypoints, our route, our track and everything. There'll be a link in the description that you can check out. All right, we are officially on the trail.
With a late start on the trip after leaving Tombstone, our focus quickly had to turn to sorting out camp for the evening.
We could do the paid campground. We've had some luck with that in the past. But
You're saying dirty words.
I know. I don't really want to do it. What I would like to do is at least put in some more miles. I feel like we didn't put enough miles in today. I think we can make it down to the border wall and come up. And then there's this whole area in the Coronado National Forest. There's got to be
something up
There's
there.
got to be camping up in here, right? Like even this little spit or something. There's got to be.
Yeah. All right.
So
Well, let's put some distance in.
Let's track.
Our main concern today is making sure that we have somewhere safe to camp. We do have to travel quite a distance along the border, and we don't want to camp near the Mexican border, just 'cause we don't want to get hassled by border security and or deal with any other situations that could arise with being close to the border. So,
I mean, if I was a betting man, I would say just from the amount of cars and hunters we've already seen at that campground, probably has a few folks staying there on a Saturday night.
that sounds like a pretty good bet. So, yeah, let's book it, and we'll see what we can find. have reached the Mexican border. This is the southernmost point of Arizona. So we're going to start heading north from here towards Utah. But this is it. It's really a tremendous wall. A wall like no one has ever seen before. You know, Brad, when you told me we were going to go on vacation to Mexico, this is not what I thought you had in mind.
I mean, it's pretty out here. The weather's nice. You can't complain.
It is nice, yeah. Pretty cool driving right along the Mexican border. Now the journey really begins.
Man, here we go.
That was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I was expecting like a fortress wall.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we have in San Diego, so surprised to see it so different in Arizona. If you don't mind, I'm going to throw my camera on the tripod over here. I think that's a good ground shot. You all right with that?
Getting up into the mountains a bit and some distance between us and Mexico, we start looking for a place to set up for the night before sunset. The days are short now in December, with the sun setting around 4 p.m.
All right, the sun is starting to set. Just went behind this mountain behind us here, but still lots of daylight left. So we're going to set up camp before it gets dark, so we have a good idea of our surroundings, and we're gotten a good couple hours into the trail today, so we're off to a good start. That is so cool. Air leveling on the trailer.
Yeah, very nice.
That is so convenient when you're at camp spots like this where it's really hard to find a level spot to camp.
Yeah, this kind of looked level as we were coming in, but then you realize there's really just this real gradual slope, and you got to get it just right, so it helps.
Yeah. I have to take my kayak off of the rack before popping up the tent. It's just really heavy to push up, and it kind of puts a lot of force on the aluminum frame of the roof of the four-wheel camper, so it's supposed to be able to support that much weight, but I just feel a little uncomfortable with it, and it's easier to open without it on there, so I pulled it off. It's actually easier to take the kayak off with this lift system than it is to push the roof up with it on there, so I'm really happy with how that's working out. Would you prefer a New York or a ribeye?
Yes, I think ribeye.
Ribeye, all right.
What's your preference?
I don't care.
Oh, okay, ribeye sounds great.
They are both excellent cuts of meat,
Excellent.
so
let's do it.
yeah. Steak seems like the right way to celebrate the second night of Arizona, so.
Sunsets out here are absolutely beautiful, but the desert quickly gets cold after dark.
Another beautiful morning in Arizona. Sun is out. We're excited for our first full day on the trail. We're going to get moving here pretty quick. If you guys are either watching the channel for the first time or you're following along with the bucket trip series and followed our last trip with Brad and I going to the Arctic, We've made a few upgrades on our rigs that I thought I'd just go over real quick so you know what we're dealing with. We're over at Epic Adventure Outfitters getting the Trail B&B ready for our big trip. We're installing the Nomadin light mounts with air chucks that we're going to mount the KC Highlights Flexera 4s on, and then we're going to run compressor lines to an ARB dual compressor that's under the passenger seat. What's going on, Ginger?
How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good.
What are you getting done today?
I just came to slow-mo your face.
Oh.
No, I do the slow motion, not you. No, you look good. You're a sex symbol in the automotive world.
That's great.
And it has a little cap protection that goes over it so it won't fill up with mud. So that should be super useful.
You can see that the bushing is ovaled out. A little bigger, a little beefier, a little better.
A little golder. I talked to my friends at Metal Cloak and we got some gold. These should hold up to our abuse. They're very heavy. I think I'm gonna do a little workout. I think Paul's having a problem here. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I was just having difficulty
Here,
with it. Whoa! Whoa!
Pretty heavy, right?
It's pretty heavy, man. That's definitely not a Jeep arm.
Well, we did 37s, so remember we were at 35s
Yeah.
before, and I think that hindered me in a couple spots. So we upgraded the 37s, and then I upgraded the shocks. So I'm running Bilstein 8100s external bypasses, and these shocks have blown me away, honestly. So running those, we Cerakoted the exhaust, which I think looks way better.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Looks really good. And then I swapped out the lights. So I'm running the KC Titans before I was running the Flexeras, and I just think these look a little bit better aesthetically.
The Titan's so good, isn't it? It's
yeah.
so bright.
Yeah, so good.
So far today, we're just making our way through a lot of flat ranch land. We've been on the trail for about an hour.
My friend, I've heard you use the word howdy a couple times since you've worn that hat. It's kind of grown on you, huh?
It was meant to be. I feel like, I don't know, when I walk now, I walk with like a different swag, you know?
I hear you, man. You look so distinguished with that hat. I love it. Hey, something we talked about when we were planning this trip was we knew that sections of the BDR were going to be kind of easy ranch roads, and we wanted to go detour a little bit. How you feeling today about that?
Yeah, it looks like there's some other offshoots up ahead. There's this Empire Ranch headquarters that you've marked here on Onyx. I'm not sure what's that all about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest here. I marked a lot of stuff, not really knowing what it was. It's just like, okay, well, maybe this is something. So we might get lucky. Like, you know, Tombstone. I was like, well, we should at least stop by and see it.
You look like you belong here.
Cabins and ranches in Arizona, and there's a lot of like off-road clubs that will take good care of them. Some of them you can like sleep in for the night. It's one of those apple peelers.
Oh yeah, it's one of those old apple peelers.
Apple peeler.
Maybe a potato peeler?
Yeah, maybe. Well, they probably had a lot of potatoes, probably not a lot of apples. So that
Yeah.
would make more sense.
Looks like we're going to be getting up into these mountains. I like it.
Yeah, let's do that.
With these low trees and this tall grass, I've never been to Africa, but I would imagine this is what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, I would think so. we've hit the dirt, we've traveled just over 82 miles.
Well, a PR is 750 miles total.
All right. Well, we're off to an okay start.
I think we're making fine time.
Hopefully that just means we'll get lots of terrain change.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I know what's to come once we get a little further north. This area I haven't been familiar with.
We expect this journey to take us just over a week, and covering all sorts of terrain. Although the route is mostly off-road, there will be sections where we have no choice but to hit a highway for a short distance between trail sections.
We gotta get on some pavement for a bit. We're gonna air up. I'm gonna use the new air up system in the Ram for the first time. We've got air chucks on these Nomadden A-pillar mounts. The mounts that we use to mount the lights are significantly stronger than the factory ones, so it decreases vibration, which is really nice. Also gives us the option to put on these air chucks. So let's see how it works. Of course, Brad's airing up with his Kraken. Four tire inflation systems just changed the game, man. There's a link to the Kraken in the description if you got a Jeep. Awesome setup.
With you, you said that Alberta was like Canada's Texas. Does that mean you can only wear that hat when you're in Alberta and you're gonna get like chastised if you wear it in BC?
I'm getting my money's worth out of this hat.
For sure.
Out in more remote areas, you never know what you might run into.
We got a flipped car up here. Brad, you might need your medical kit. So we just came across a young couple, probably 16 to 17 years old, flipped Ford Explorer on the side of the road. They landed on soft dirt, but the whole front of the cab was crushed. If they'd landed a different way or on the middle of the road, I don't know if they would have made it. So, pretty crazy. Be safe out there on the dirt roads. You go around a corner too fast, it's easy to lose control.
After waiting with the crash victims, the day was already losing light. We'd have to head for camp in the dark now.
Soul searching, fall apart, tunnel vision, hiding in the dark. Well, I ain't gonna holler before I really bleed. Salvation, a quick fix. You said I never ever could change. I thought I never.
So we're just on this mining road, heading up towards this mine, looking for somewhere to camp. It's getting a little narrow, so we're just walking it a little bit.
The shelf road seemed to go on forever and was getting more and more narrow.
that was a fun little shelf road in the dark. We've arrived at the mine. There's like a chute over here and a bridge across the canyon. There's all sorts of ruins. There's like a concrete wall over here. Get some shots of it later or in the morning, but we're gonna set up camp here because I think this is the end of where the BLM land is, and the rest is private property. Not that I think anybody is gonna care, but this is a great spot to camp.
Yeah, you know I love shelf roads.
I know you love shelf roads. In the dark.
This is cool. Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm fine, but it wasn't that bad. But this is a cool spot to end up, so worth it.
Yeah, I love stuff like this. So. Oh, that's a sketchy bridge if I've ever seen one. It's like a mining chute or something over there. That's cool.
It's like steel underneath there. You see the steel beam?
Oh yeah, it's totally safe as long as you don't mind the narrow walkway.
Totally safe. What's your motto? Safety second?
Safety second, yes. I think that's what the fence is for. A safety fence, right? Big chunk of bison.
Big chunk of bison.
So bison nachos.
Bison nachos.
It's the first time you made it?
Never made these before. I've never made nachos at camp.
Well, if you're gonna make bison nachos, a cowboy hat's the right hat. So.
I think so.
Brad's cooking up some nachos, some bison nachos, and they look amazing. I tasted a little bit of the bison meat. It tastes amazing. So that's fantastic. I'm underexposed, which is not fantastic. I'll just fix that up right now. Why is it so dark out here? Is it nighttime or something? How's that bison meat?
That's pretty good.
Pretty tasty.
That's pretty good.
So since we've left pavement and got onto dirt, although we've been on pavement a couple of times since, we're about 200 miles into our route out of, what did you say was 700 miles?
750.
750 miles. So we're moving along pretty good, but we've also still got, quite a few days to go. So this is going to be a great adventure still to come.
Well, and one point is it might end up being more than 750 miles if we can't get through the mountains.
That's true. We're not sure what's going to happen when we get up north in the mountains. We might have to take some detours, but whatever happens, it's going to be an adventure. So stick around, make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss what's going to happen next.
Ooh. I think we're there.
Nacho time.
Nacho time.
That does look so good. Crushed it. That's so good. It tastes like pizza.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
It needs a little salsa, I think, to dip, but dude, that's excellent.
It's on.
Can we let it be for just a little more? My mind is wide and aching at the core.
This was just the start of our journey traversing Arizona.
Whoa, stop.